I'd like to welcome everybody to the show. Meditation Made Easy. My name is Greg Kadot, and I am with the Dancing Buddha and teach Buddhist-style meditation. Tonight's topic will be You Are Conscious Love. You are conscious love. You know, when I first was introduced to this concept, I didn't believe it. It was so foreign to me. But a Buddhist teacher once said to me, he says, everything you do, everything you have ever done, started out by loving something, and you are conscious. So you are conscious love. It's not just a spiritual concept. I remember turning to argue with him, but he was continuing. He said, even when mad, even when upset or frustrated, that these were simply other emotions linked to this love, right? That it was an act of love being threatened or otherwise pushed out of shape. And that really love was the only emotion that we had. That simply love was moving well and it was pure love, or love was moving poorly, which began to create the other feelings of anxiety or frustration or the need to control, that kind of thing. All love, right? Either working or stretched out of shape. And the Buddhist monk used to always say that it was constant love. Think of it as constant love, or conscious love. It doesn't stop. It's always something that's happening. I questioned him at the time, saying, well, then why is the world such a mess? You know, a bunch of beings all conscious love, you'd think it'd be pretty good, right? But he said to me, he says, conscious love was not enough. Until we understand our most powerful state of conscious love, it would control us, right? And we can see examples all around us, although we don't need to pick on our neighbors, do we? Right? We ourselves are plagued by urges, right? Urges that are stronger than our own, real conscious thinking, and we do things that we don't even agree with sometimes. We cannot turn away from old habits easily. Our lives become repetitive, often centered around these urges and habits, right? Our lives become narrowed to the love of only a few things, and further slowed by addiction. And we become so focused on loving those few things that all the other things we could have loved, like our neighbors, now stand in our way, right? Our conscious loving state now enslaves us to a narrow path and holds us in place through repetition like anchors, right? We don't seem to realize it, but we've stopped being free. We can no longer move other than just a few moments here and a few moments there. Our loving state, pure conscious love, now divides us from our neighbors, now divides us from freedom. So this really is the world we see before us now, isn't it? Those enslaved to the narrowed loving state so powerfully they're willing to harm their neighbors to get to the things that they want, right? It's like an itch they can't stop scratching, even though they know it's causing them harm in some ways. But each one is conscious love, nonetheless. Even by their narrow examples, the state of constant love is obvious. But I remember again arguing with this teacher and saying, but it doesn't feel like love. Where's the love? He agreed. I remember he said it was subtle, that's for sure. He says they are in love with things, but they're in things from the past. And love of the things in the past does not feel like love in the present. It feels like loss or depression, or it can feel like sadness or anger, right? Or he said they are in love with things in the future things and future thoughts. But the love of the future does not feel like love in the present, right? It does not feel like those things. It feels like anxiety and the need for control. It feels like dominance, and we are always rushed from one thing to the other. Love only feels like love in the present, he said, when you love things in the present. Kind of obvious when you think about it. He says, but our love is focused on the past and the future. Consequently, the present now feels like loss and depression, sadness, and the need for control, domineering and rushed. All just love in the wrong place, he would say. In the past and the future. He says, clearly we must focus our love in the present if we want to feel love now. And he said, oddly enough, that's the only place where people were. Because the past and the future do not truly exist. Yep. He was right. And he learned this from the Buddha. Because the Buddha was a master of the state of constant love in the present. His love was always in the present, and people could feel it all the time. And that's why he was rewarded with such crowds. Right? And he used his present love wisely to plant good karma. Right? And in that way, his present environment of good karma, right, would slowly become his future, right? Even better each day, because he was planting good karma, so that his safety was really taken care of by the love that he was showing to others. Anyways, that's the message that I had today about we are conscious love. And like I said, when I first heard this concept, I didn't really believe it. But now that I look at the way people are and how they're motivated, it's quite clear we are conscious love, and we are, that's our purest state of mind. But we are conscious love doing something, right? And for that reason, we are not conscious love, standing still or in a contented state. Often it's conscious love in a discontented state. But nonetheless, it was a great relief to me when I found out we were conscious love to begin with, because then we had a chance, right? We had a chance to do the right thing. So that's it for tonight, guys. I will have more videos out soon about meditation. And again, we thank you very much. And thanks again. Good night. Namaste. Namaste.